On May the 21st, 2000, Glenda Ann Bradley stepped off the Appalachian Trail in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. A 50-year-old schoolteacher from Cosby, Tennessee, an experienced outdoors woman who had hiked these woods before. She walked a few hundred feet from the path. Rangers found her body that afternoon. A 112-pound black bear and her yearling cub were still there, feeding. The autopsy confirmed it. This was the first fatal bear attack in the history of the Great Smoky Mountains. But here is what the headlines never told you. In the 16 years that followed, 2 people died from bears on this trail. 2, in that same period, 5% of every thru-hiker who completed the trail contracted Lyme disease. Not from fangs, from something the size of a poppy seed. The creature that gets you on the Appalachian Trail is not the one you see coming. There are 14 animals on this trail you need to know. Some will kill you, most won't. The difference is not what you expect. The bear makes the news. The tick makes the wheelchair. I spent years watching the tree line for black shapes. I never once checked my ankles. The National Park Service ran tick surveillance along the trail and found something worse. More than 1 in 5 deer ticks they collected carried the bacterium that causes Lyme disease. Some studies found rates even higher. Flip a coin. That is your odds of the tick on your ankle carrying something that can permanently damage your joints, your heart, and your nervous system. Lyme disease takes 36 hours to transmit. That feels like time. It is not time. Powassan virus transmits in 15 minutes. Not 36 hours like Lyme. 15 minutes of a tick attached to your skin. By the time you feel the itch, the virus may already be crossing into your brain. Case fatality runs between 10 and 15%. Of those who survive, more than half suffer permanent neurological damage. Cases jumped from 7 in 2015 to 76 in 2025. There is no vaccine. There is no treatment. There is only whether you found the tick in time. And then there is the creature that does not kill you at all. It just takes something you never knew you could lose. The Lone Star tick carries a molecule that rewires your immune system. One bite can trigger alpha-gal syndrome. Your body begins producing antibodies against a sugar found in red meat. Beef, pork, lamb, wild game. Federal health data estimates 450,000 Americans may already have it. Symptoms appear 3 to 6 hours after eating meat, long enough that most people never connect it to a tick bite months earlier. One official death has been linked to the allergy, but for the rest, the sentence is simpler. You may never eat a burger again. For many, the allergy is permanent. The wilderness takes something from you that you did not know you could lose, and the creature that did it was smaller than a freckle. The deadliest creature on the Appalachian Trail weighs less than a paperclip. 40 to 100 Americans die every year from stinging insects. Not from bears, not from snakes, from yellowjackets and wasps. That number is higher than all venomous snakebite deaths in America combined by a factor of 10. The trail is lousy with them. Yellowjackets nest in the ground, in abandoned rodent burrows, in holes along the trail edge. You do not see the nest, your foot finds it. Your 12-year-old steps off the path to rest. The nest was there first. And by the time you realize what you have stepped on, you're already taking multiple stings. Unlike a honeybee, a yellowjacket does not lose its stinger. It can sting you again and again. For most people, that means pain and swelling. For the roughly 2 million Americans allergic to stinging insect venom, it can mean death in under 30 minutes. Anaphylaxis closes the throat. The heart races, blood pressure drops. Without epinephrine, the window closes fast. There are documented cases of yellowjacket attacks on trails requiring AIR medic extraction. Hikers knocked from their feet, broken bones from falls during mass attacks, facial reconstruction surgery. This is not from a bear charge. This is from wasps. The peak season is August through September. The colonies are at maximum size. The workers are aggressive. You will hike this stretch in late summer. You will not see the nest until your foot is in it, and by then you are already taking stings. The deadliest animal on the Appalachian Trail does not live on the Appalachian Trail. It crosses the road you drive to reach the trailhead. White-tailed deer kill more than 400 Americans every year. Not attacks. Collisions. 2 million deer vehicle crashes happen annually in the United States. More than bears, snakes, spiders, and sharks combined. More than every predator you have ever feared. West Virginia sits at the heart of the trail and leads the nation in deer vehicle collisions. Drivers there have a 1 in 25 chance of hitting a deer in any given year. Pennsylvania, which holds the most miles of the Appalachian Trail, has the most deer collision insurance claims in the country, over 150,000 in a single reporting period. October through December is the RUT. The deer are moving, the bucks are distracted. The roads that carry you to the trailheads become the most dangerous stretch of your entire trip. The deer is not hunting you either, but you pack bear spray, you watch for snakes, and then you die on the drive home because a deer you never saw stepped into your headlights at 60 miles an hour. In 2024, a healthy 41-year-old man in New Hampshire, with no underlying conditions, contracted a virus from a mosquito bite. He was dead within 1 week of hospitalization. His family learned what Eastern equine encephalitis was the day he stopped breathing. Eastern equine encephalitis has a 30% fatality rate. Of those who survive, only half recover fully. The rest suffer permanent neurological damage. The virus is carried by mosquitoes that breed in hardwood swamps along the Atlantic and Gulf coasts. The northern sections of the Appalachian Trail run directly through the endemic zone. Massachusetts alone had 12 cases in 2019. 6 of those people died, 11 cases per year on average across the country. That sounds rare, but rare is not the same as safe. The mosquito does not care about statistics. It bites who it bites, and when it carries this particular virus, your odds of walking away intact are worse than a coin flip. Great Smoky Mountains National Park has the densest black bear population in the country. Roughly 1,900 bears in 522,000 acres, 2 bears per square mile. The population has tripled since the early 1990s, and yet, between 2000 and 2016 there were 2 fatal bear attacks on the Appalachian Trail. 2, both in Tennessee, both in the Smokies. In that same stretch of trail over the same years, roughly 3 million people visited annually. The odds of dying from a bear attack work out to something like 1 in 24 to 30 million. You're more likely to be struck by lightning while holding a winning lottery ticket. The 2025 trail season saw 42 reported bear encounters on the Appalachian Trail. That is a 75% increase from the 24 reported in 2024. Virginia was named Bear State of the Year. The encounters are climbing. The equilibrium is shifting. The bear responsible for killing Glenda Ann Bradley was a tagged research animal. 112 pounds. Female. No prior aggression in any observation. The Park Service had been watching this bear for years. It had never done anything like this. Its yearling cub was with it. The attack was unprovoked. Rangers shot both bears when they would not leave the body. Stomach contents confirmed they had been feeding. 1 attack, 1 death. In 89 years of park history, the bear is not hunting you, but the bear is still there, and respecting that is not fear. It is sense. Maine, New Hampshire and Vermont all list the moose as the most dangerous animal in their state. Not the bear, not the coyote, the moose. Maine alone has between 40,000 and 60,000 of them. New Hampshire has around 4,000. In the White Mountains, that is roughly 1 moose per square mile. The 100-mile wilderness at the northern end of the trail is moose country in every direction. A bull moose can weigh 1,000 pounds, it can charge at 35 miles per hour. The fastest human sprinter in history tops out at 27. If a moose reads you as a threat, you are not outrunning it. You are not fighting it. You are hoping it changes its mind. There has never been a fatal moose attack in the northeastern United States. 0 confirmed deaths from direct moose aggression. But the vehicle collision numbers tell a different story. Several people die every year in moose vehicle crashes in Maine and New Hampshire. A moose through your windshield at highway speed is 1,000 pounds of bone and antler arriving at face level. The moose will not kill you on the trail. It will kill you on the drive home if you're not watching the shoulders after dark. After this, you will check those shoulders differently. Only 2 venomous snake species inhabit the Appalachian Trail. The timber rattlesnake and the copperhead. Both are pit vipers. Both can ruin your trip. Neither is as dangerous as you have been told. The entire United States averages 5 to 10 fatal snake bites per year, out of 7 to 8,000 venomous bites. That is a fatality rate of roughly 1 in 1,000 with treatment. Rattlesnakes account for 90% of fatal bites. Copperheads account for almost none. In a 30-year study of venomous snake bites in America, only 5 deaths were attributed to copperheads. 5 deaths in 30 years. The copperhead is the snake most likely to bite you because its camouflage is nearly perfect. It looks like dead leaves. You step on it before you see it. It strikes without warning. Your boot comes down on what looks like forest floor, and the forest floor bites back, but 85% of copperhead bites are classified as grade 1. Observation only, no antivenom required. The venom yield of an average copperhead is 30 milligrams. It takes 40 to cause serious harm in an untreated adult. The timber rattlesnake is more dangerous. Untreated bites carry a 1 to 10% fatality rate. With antivenom, that drops to roughly 1 in 700. But timber rattlesnakes warn you. They rattle. They give you a chance to back away. The copperhead does not. Modern medicine turned the rattlesnake from killer to inconvenience. The snake that hides at your feet was never trying to kill you in the first place. The entire Appalachian mountain range sits inside the raccoon, rabies, endemic zone according to federal health authorities. From Canada to Florida, from the Atlantic coast to the spine of the mountains, 10% of raccoons that expose people or pets in these woods test positive for rabies. Rabies is 100% fatal once symptoms appear. There is no cure, there is no treatment. There is only the vaccine given before symptoms start. If you are bitten by a rabid animal and do not receive post-exposure prophylaxis in time, you will die. The mortality rate is not 99%, it is 100. Ground hogs account for 93% of all rabid rodents in the United States. The cute fat woodchuck sunning itself near the shelter is the rodent most likely to be carrying the virus in this part of the country. There is a documented incident of a hiker waking in an Appalachian Trail shelter at 4 in the morning with a bat biting his face. Bat teeth are small. You may not feel the bite, but bat rabies is the leading cause of human rabies deaths in America. That hiker had to leave the trail immediately for a full post-exposure vaccination series. A skunk that does not run away when you approach is not tame. It is rabid. A raccoon that approaches you in daylight is not curious. It is dying. A bat that lands on you or flies during the day is not lost. It is dangerous. 6 human rabies deaths were reported in the United States in the past 12 months, the highest number in years. The trail runs through the heart of where this happens. Feral hogs have been photographed standing on the Appalachian Trail near Highway 19E in Carter County, Tennessee, not near the trail, on it. They escaped from a hunting preserve on Hooper's Bald in North Carolina in 1912. By the 1970s, they had taken over the Smokies. The National Park Service has killed and removed over 13,000 feral hogs since the program began. They still remove roughly 275 per year, and there are still more. The federal trapping program lost funding. The animals are getting bolder. A mature boar can weigh over 300 pounds. It can charge at 25 miles an hour. It has 4 tusks up to 5 inches long. Those tusks can open a leg to the bone. There has not been a documented feral hog attack on the Appalachian Trail yet, but the population is growing, and the question is not whether it will happen. The question is when. Mice live in almost every shelter on the Appalachian Trail. They are there when you arrive, they will be there when you leave. They are as much a part of the trail as white blazes and register books. One hiker in the history of the trail is known to have contracted hantavirus. One case. But hantavirus pulmonary syndrome has a 38% mortality rate. 4 out of 10 people who develop symptoms die. The virus transmits through airborne particles from mouse urine, droppings, and saliva. Sweeping a dusty shelter floor can aerosolize the particles. Sleeping where mice have nested can expose you. The shelter feels like safety. A roof, walls, other hikers nearby. But the mice were there all winter. The droppings are in the corners. The shelter is not stunt safety. It is a calculated risk you take with open eyes or closed ones. Fire ants are supposed to stay in the lowlands. Biologists said they could not survive above certain elevations. The mountains were too cold, the winters too hard. Western Carolina University found colonies persisting above 4,000 feet. Climate change is pushing them into the southern Appalachians. North Carolina now reports fire ants in at least 75 of its 100 counties, including isolated populations in the western mountains. The fire ant does not just sting. It bites first to anchor itself, then stings repeatedly with a separate stinger. One ant can deliver multiple stings. Disturbed mound can deliver hundreds within minutes. You take one wrong step off the trail to rest, and the ground comes alive beneath you. The venom contains alkaloids that cause intense burning and white pustules that can leave permanent scars. For those allergic, fire ant stings cause more anaphylactic reactions than all other stinging insects combined in the southeastern United States. More than bees, more than wasps, The ant that should not be here is standing on the ridgeline waiting. The pus caterpillar looks like a cotton ball with legs. It is covered in soft fur that makes it appear harmless enough to touch. Do not touch it. Hidden under that fur are venomous spines that inject a toxin on contact. The pain radiates from the sting site into the bones. Victims describe it as worse than wasp stings, worse than bee stings, worse than anything they expected from a caterpillar. The pain can last for hours. Nausea, chest pain, and tissue damage can require emergency treatment. A child sees something soft and furry on a branch and reaches for it. An adult brushes it off a backpack without looking. The sting announces itself immediately, and by then the venom is already working. It looks harmless. That is exactly the problem. Fewer than 3 people die from spider bites annually in the entire United States. No black widow death has been confirmed in over a decade. No death from a brown recluse bite has ever been confirmed in America. Black widows favour dark spaces. On the trail, that means privies. They build webs in the corners and under the seats. A bite is painful. The venom can cause muscle cramps and systemic symptoms, but fatalities are essentially non-existent with modern medical care. Brown recluses prefer south-central states. They are extremely rare on the Appalachian Trail. When they do bite, the venom can cause localized tissue death. The spider is here to show you the scale. Everything else on this list is more dangerous than your childhood nightmare. The tick is more dangerous than the spider. The yellowjacket is more dangerous than the spider. The deer on the highway is more dangerous than the spider. The eastern cougar was officially declared extinct in 2011 and removed from the endangered species list in 2018. The last confirmed kill was by a hunter in Maine in 1938. But something is being seen in these mountains. In November 2015, the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency confirmed a mountain lion sighting in Obion County. A female, the first verified sighting in over a century. In November 2023, another confirmed sighting appeared on a deer camera in Humphreys County. Experts studying cougar range predict recolonization of the eastern United States within 25 to 50 years. Virginia has logged 121 possible mountain lion sightings since 1970. None officially confirmed. That means 121 people saw something they believed was a mountain lion. And not one of them got proof. The ghost cat may be returning. The trail may have a new apex predator, or it may not. The uncertainty is the point. You will never know whether those eyes in the darkness belong to a bobcat or something larger. The creature that kills you is not the one you prepared for. You trained your fear on the wrong target. And the small and quiet has been waiting. It is the tick you missed during your nightly check. The wasp nest you stepped on before you saw it. The deer that crossed the highway on your drive home. The mosquito that found you at dusk in the wrong swamp. You know what a bear looks like. You know to hang your food, make noise on the trail, back away slowly. You have trained yourself to fear the large and obvious, and the large and obvious kills almost no one. The small and quiet kills thousands. Check your body every night, all of it. The places ticks hide are the places you forget to look. Treat your clothes with permethrin before you go. Carry an EpiPen if you have ever had a serious sting reaction. Watch the road on the drive home, especially at dusk, especially in October. If you have worked search and rescue on this trail, you know things the rest of us do not. The trail does not hunt you. It does not wait for you to make a mistake. It simply exists. 2,000 miles of indifference, and it lets you choose which warnings to ignore. The bear was never the enemy. The tick was never the afterthought. You had it backwards from the first step. You will hike this trail someday. Maybe you already have. And every mile you walked, these 14 animals were there. The ones you feared, the ones you never saw, the ones you take seriously are almost never the ones that matter. Glenda Ann Bradley was an experienced outdoorswoman. She knew these woods. She stepped off the trail for a few minutes, and she never came back. The bear made the news, but the trail kept walking.